I said it before and I'll say it again. The video I first did about the SCP was probably my favourite video I've done on this channel in a very long time. I took a look at some of my favourite anomalies from the Foundation's archives and creeped you guys and myself out by exploring them. I'm so happy that the video did well and you guys liked it, because it means I get to come back now and find some even creepier ones. Just like I said last time, watch this video at your own peril. You have been warned. Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin. My name is Danny Burke and this is the top 10 scary SCP creatures part 2. Starting off at number 10 now, we have SCP-303. This anomaly is described as a nude, sexless, emaciated humanoid figure with reddish brown skin. Instead of normal facial features, its head is mostly a large mouth with oversized teeth. It lets out a constant wheezing noise which can even be heard from the next room. 303 can materialize and will periodically do so behind any closed door, hatch, or any sort of entryway barrier. Essentially, it works like this. You will see a door, for example, and 303 will materialize on the other side of that door. You can see its unmistakable mouth on the other side of the glass. It will sit there and watch you. If you try and open the door, you will be gripped by an intense, paralyzing fear. The fear is said to be indescribable, but some witnesses have compared it to arachnophobia, almost as if it exists on a genetic level. However, the Foundation has run tests and concluded that 303 is not doing this intentionally. It's simply a byproduct of its own biology. After some time, 303 will then dematerialize and the fear will fade with it. Next up at number 9 now, we have SCP-2935. This skip is a space-time anomaly that exists within a limestone cave beneath a cemetery in Joppa, Indiana. The cemetery was abandoned over 100 years ago and was only rediscovered when the Foundation picked up radio signals coming from that cave. They sent a drone into the cave and, to their surprise, it quickly exited on the other side. What they found there was a near exact replica of modern Earth as we know it. It looked just like our world. However, all life, biological and non-biological, all machines and computers, everything sentient was gone. They decoded the signal and found that in this reality, life had vanished suddenly in the early hours of the morning, April 20th, 2016. The full message read as follows from the signal. This is an automated emergency broadcast from the SCP Foundation and your national government. One or more of our sites is experiencing a communication breakdown, likely due to a containment breach of unknown magnitude. All citizens are ordered to stay in their homes as containment teams work to secure the breach. This message will broadcast from April 20th, 2016 until, and at that point the message cuts out and then just repeats itself. It appears the Foundation has found a portal into another reality, one where some dark force extinguished all life and no government or Foundation could stop it. Now the Foundation in our reality is tasked with figuring out what exactly happened and preventing it from happening to us. Coming at number 8 now, we have SCP-1231. This is a very weird one. 1231 is an old block Amiga 1200 computer made by Commodore International. It runs by itself with no power source and displays only one screen full of thumbnails. The Foundation have dubbed this the primary screen. It cannot be shifted from this screen. In total, there are 4,352 thumbnails. They are organized into rows of 20, ascending numerically, and a scroll bar is located on the right side of the screen. Every thumbnail is a very low resolution moving picture. A few of them have even been known to make sounds despite the lack of speakers on 1231. Clicking on one of the thumbnails expands it to the size of the screen. The Foundation have studied a number of these thumbnails. They contain scenes of unknown people performing actions on a loop. Thumbnail 2, for example, features a woman scooping a powder in her left hand while holding a baby in the other. Another features a woman dislocating and then relocating a man's shoulder. Thumbnail 1170 is notable as a very creepy one. Two people are seen kneeling facing the camera, drenched in blood, crying and making non-discernible words. The Foundation thinks that 1231 is a soul trap and that the people seen in the thumbnails are, or at least were, real people. This was confirmed when the Foundation contained 1231 and stopped studying it, but the thumbnails kept increasing. At number 7 now, we have SCP-999. This anomaly appears to be a large, amorphous, gelatinous mass of translucent orange slime weighing about 120 pounds. Its consistency is said to be similar to peanut butter. The size and shape of 999 changes constantly. The Foundation describes it as playful and dog-like in nature. When approached, he will react with overwhelming overwhelming elation. He will then slither over to the nearest person and hug them with a pair of pseudopods while nuzzling the person's face with a third pseudopod. All the while he will be emitting high-pitched gurgling and cooing noises. It's said that he smells different to every person. You might smell chocolate, I might smell fresh laundry, another might smell bacon, roses, or even Play-Doh. Touching 999's surface causes intense and immediate euphoria. This feeling intensifies the longer the subject is exposed. This is a fitting trait to have because it's drawn to people who are unhappy or hurt in life. It's been known to cure people who have crippling depression. This has led some scientists to suggest using its slime to create powerful antidepressants. Moving on to number 6 now, we have SCP-139. Once you hear about this creepy skull, you'll never find another skull creepy again. The Foundation have determined that it is of a hominid origin. It's missing its lower jawbone and the eye sockets are very worn out. Some experts say that it's the skull of a Neanderthal, others say it's a modern human. However, everyone was confused about the ridge on top of its skull. One of the Foundation's anthropologists have said that this was used as a powerful jaw anchor to the skull. It was found by scientists in modern day Iran during the 1950s. The local people there had it suspended 50 feet off a cliff and used a pulley system to give the skull food and water. Yeah, they fed it. They referred to it as the White Div, a demon and a spawn of Ahriman, the most evil being in existence. Next, the Foundation states, the skull was then lost for many years. It surfaced next in the Yukon, 90 kilometers from the Alaskan border. The entire community of Caribou Crossing, what is today known as Carcross, Yukon, was found brutally murdered by multiple stab wounds. The corpses were found stacked in a large pile in the center of the chapel in the town. On top of the pile of corpses was the skull. Now, ever since then, the skull has remained in containment at the Foundation, and still nobody knows its origins. Coming at number 5 now, we have SCP-823. This anomaly is an abandoned theme park. The site was abandoned after several violent events resulting in the death of visitors. The final day of the park was referred to as Bloody Sunday. 231 attendants were killed. A further 7 were injured or maimed. 2 individuals, one male, one female, fused together after emerging from the tunnel of Love Ride. They had both died. One person wearing a Happy Hippo mascot uniform was found dead from suffocation. Their mouth, trachea, and lungs were filled with the same stuffing from the uniform. 15 people were recovered from the Thriller Chiller roller coaster, all decapitated by blunt force. Forensics showed that they were not all killed at the same time, but in groups of 2 as they went round and round in a loop. The deaths continued like this, each one as twisted as the next. The Foundation has requested for the site to be destroyed in an airstrike so as not to harm anyone else, but the request has been refused due to close proximity to civilian population. Moving on to number 4 now, we have SCP-072. This is a shadow. Instances of it were first discovered in an apartment building in Michigan. Its shadowy projection resembles a 1 meter long hand, the fingers of which taper to a sharp point. Now, due to its nature, it only manifests itself at low levels of light. In some ways, 072 is like a parasite. Its host is normally a bed. It will wait in this bed until a human uses the bed and falls asleep. If they have any limbs exposed out of the covers, 072 will activate and begin to crawl upwards. It will then tap on a person's foot until they wake up. When they do, they find themselves unable to move, almost as if they have sleep paralysis. 072 will use its pointed fingers to slowly slice and cut their foot. It will slither back under the bed with each piece it's cut and then return, repeating the process to slice some more. Victims report feeling every bit of pain, although they remain unable to move or cry for help. The Foundation claims that any bed within 10 meters of the infected bed can also contain an instance of 072. That's why it's important to identify the bed and then destroy it immediately. Next up, number 3 now, we have SCP-706. 706 is a 12-year-old girl who appears normal from a distance. She has an abnormally high body temperature and her entire skin is said to be made of porcelain. Not so normal now. This layer is fragile due to how thin it is and can easily crack or break after too much movement. 706 has described this as extremely painful. However, she is able to regenerate the skin after ingesting the raw materials to make porcelain. When left alone, she will compulsively maintain her appearance, typically staring into mirrors and using makeup on herself. 706 will become very distressed if she's denied the materials or ability to inspect and improve her own appearance. Since her containment at the Foundation, she has become increasingly self-destructive and has taken to breaking off pieces of herself in order to remove so-called undesirable features. 706 is currently under suicide watch procedures at the Foundation. Moving on to number 2 now, we have 093. 093 is a test of sorts, a very creepy one at that. It's primarily a red disc carved from a stone said to resemble cinnabar. There are known circular engravings and unknown symbols covering it. Researchers first noticed that 093 changes colour slightly depending on who is holding it. The most current theory is that it does so based on the regrets of the person holding it. 093 can only be contained by mirrors. If it's placed on a mirror, it will remain there as if it's magnetized to it. If it's removed from a mirror and not held by a person, it will seek out the nearest mirror-like surface. It will start to roll in a large circle, building up great speed until it makes contact with a mirror, punching a hole in anything that stands in its way, including living things. Now, despite the force with which it hits its new mirror, neither the mirror or 093 appear to be damaged. But here is the twist. During a test at the Foundation, one researcher tripped while holding 093 and passed straight through the mirror. Now the Foundation is conducting experiments to determine the safest way to harness this power, to use 093 to explore the mirror world. The experiments are very cautious at the moment though, as the Foundation tries to ascertain whether its changing colour can drastically affect the results. And finally, number 1 now, we have SCP-122. This is a children's nightlight in the design of a shooting star. It affects people's sleep in a very disturbing way. Whenever it's without power and within 500 meters of a sleeping human, it moves them into a comatose state. They will remain like this until 122 is resupplied with power. Now, while in this state, humanoid figures made up of an unknown black mass will appear from any shadows around the person. The figures will spread out and try to affect any other people in the area who are asleep. If they find people who aren't asleep, they will resort to using pills, blankets, and lullabies to try and get them into that state. When 122 is in a powered state, it will affect their sleep patterns differently. People will display signs of insomnia and complain of unusual dreams. I found the most disturbing part of the report on 122 was that it has shown signs of sentience since the Foundation obtained it. It has succeeded in breaching containment 11 times. On one such occasion, the report said that security footage of several maintenance personnel tampering with SCP-122's chamber lock were discovered. When questioned, the subjects claimed that they had done so under duress, saying that a canary was not allowing them to sleep until they released SCP-122. It seems that this anomaly is not afraid to use its powers of manipulation to bend humans to its will. Okay, thank you very much guys for watching to the very end of this. I know this was a lot longer than the average video I do, but there's no real way I could have shortened each one of these stories. Some of these anomalies deserve their own movies. I honestly think that. Saying that, I would love to do a part 3 with you guys. I'll do that if you like and comment on this video. This is a promise. Thanks for watching as always guys. My name is Danny Burke and I will see you all in the next video.